Damn, what's going on, world? Still don't got no mic. Left that shit at the house, bro. You know, I sat there and I did a live what was it, bro? The fireworks. I did like live fireworks. The Space Needle for New Year's Eve, and then shoot, I don't even know what happened after that. I was recording a bit, did some cigar stuff, but it didn't go that long. Actually, matter of fact, what happened was smoked a cigar on the way home. Like I pretty much just walked back home from Lower Queen Anne. Went up the hill, went through Capitol Hill, all that. You know, just walked home. And it was like, it was kind of crazy. Because I'm like walking as I'm smoking a cigar, and I was like, I'm not really losing my breath. You would think someone would for doing that, but I just wasn't for smoking a cigar while doing that. But who knows? I don't know, man. I'm out of it today, man. I ain't gonna lie. I just feel like I needed to do this. I got time to kill. I feel like I needed to just really tap in for a second and just speak on whatever, man, whatever comes to mind. It's nothing, I'm over here in the back rooms as usual. Saying, just in the back rooms. I'm trapped here in the back rooms, man. Yeah, somebody go tell King Pixels I'm stuck here, but something like that. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I had today's Thursday, so I've been working since Sunday, 5 days straight. Now we had New Year's Day on Tuesday, New Year's Eve on Wednesday. So those are like the two. Well, Sunday kind of counts too as like getting a break physically, you know what I mean, on all the work, like the workload and everything. So it's kind of rough. Like, I went home, I did a few things, like we watched that Kill Tony live, Monday and Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday. But other than that, it was like, I don't think I got like proper rest. There's one night I got like 4 hours. That's probably like New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And then everything else was kind of like, in the air. So it feels like I need to get work done, to be honest. Like, it feels like I need to get some more recording in. And I've been questioning the cigar stuff because it's like I want to do that, but not at the cost of my health. I did a lot of videos. I did a lot of recordings for it. Handful of ones. Let me sit right here. Oh. Just so I can look out there. Did a handful of them. That I don't know. I think it was one. That like I did at least a dozen. And they were all like smoking. Some were like weed, some was like joints. Most of them were like cigars and stuff. But throughout those same weeks that I was recording those, it was over a dozen. But over that course of time, it was like, this isn't like, it's not a healthy thing to do. And I was doing so many throughout the week that I was like, I don't know if this is good for my health, for like physically being healthy and like the amount of health that I'm used to, or like the amount of like, I got some shit in my eye, what the fuck? The amount of health that I'm used to and the amount of like stamina and breathing room, like, the amount of like, whatever you call that. Like I found myself catching my breath after those weeks. And I was like, I can only do them maybe once every other week. My job keeps me physically like intact, but it's also like there's been days where it's tiring, where I'm like, I need to get the right amount of rest. I also been skipping breakfast a little bit. For breakfast, I kind of have like just a fruit or 2 pieces of fruit, and that's it. It'd be like a little small tangerine, like a banana or something. Something that's just like quick, Sometimes we'll have like my friend, he came in from out of town, and he had a mom, his mom had passed earlier this year, and she happened to have a guava tree, so he brought these 2 guavas for me, and I was eating. I let it. I had like one of the small ones one morning, and then I had the bigger one the next morning. But pause. But then like, yeah, that's all I eat is like I eat like a piece of fruit, a pear, like an apple, whatever we got. That's about it, man. I'll leave it at that. Then when I get here, it's like I just work. That's it, man. That's all I'm at, man. It's interesting, man. I'm trying to get as many, episodes, but at the same time, it's whenever inspiration strikes or time needs to be killed. But there has to be a middle ground. Time being killed and purpose. Utilizing the time properly. And it's like, today's definitely one of those times where it's like, it's important to rest, man. It's really important to rest. I can feel it in my voice too. It's like, if I talk too low, it gets kind of scratchy. If I project too much, I feel like I'm gonna lose my breath. Like I kind of said in one of the last videos, I had these kingers in my mouth. Some are like on the side of the gum, a little corner, not the cheek, but like, kind of towards the gum on the side of the cheek or down there. And then I had one developing in the back of my throat. Pause. And it's like, asking me about my diet, and I was like, it's not like healthy food, but it's not terrible. So I've been eating good. I've been getting as much protein as I can. Pause that. And eating as well as I can when I get home type shit, recharging before I go to sleep, all that. So it's all kind of there. But one of the things that I had on like the past dentist appointments, they just said, it's just probably the stress accumulating more than you know it. The accumulation of just having to work more than necessary hours. At that time it was. Now it's like I'm limited to 8 hours, so it's different. Whole different story. And then, I don't know, it's just everything else. It's like, actually, I get my, it's Thursday, but I get my direct deposit a day early, so it's interesting because, I got it a day early, but I said, let me just do some quick budgeting. I calculated, how much I'd be investing. So I took away like $380 for the next 2 weeks, and then I looked at what I needed to owe. Just kept subtracting all that, and I actually used a lot of my, because I had like, basically this check was basically the hours from the week of Christmas, so that Christmas pay was pretty good, holiday pay, and I used it to pay off a lot of things that I had set up as payment plan. One of my credit cards actually expires this month, so I'm gonna have to renew that or reactivate the new card whenever it shows up, because it's New Year's week, so there's no telling when things will arrive. There's some other things I'm waiting on, some packages. I need to do some package openings too when those arrive, so that's a whole nother story in and of itself. But it's really interesting, man. It's like I budgeted, but I also paid things off early, and like the past like month or 2 months, I've just been like, whenever I get paid, grip amount of dollars, man, I just pay things off. At first I was just splurging a bit. I was like, let me get this, let me grab that. It's a new release on Beyblades, whatever, let me grab some of those. And I find myself just into the hobby. I'm just into the hobby now, so I'm getting two of everything. And yeah, it's crazy. It's a little crazy. Yeah, anyway, I budgeted everything, calculated the available credit on my cards, and then subtracted what was going to be owed these next coming 2 weeks, and I was like, I think we'll be okay. And like I said, I don't know if I said this in the last one, but I'll say it again. It's like, I had this $5,000 loan that I used to pay myself. No, I didn't pay myself back. It was to pay the difference of things I needed to pay for my mom's funeral. So these costs that I had, and based on the loan thing that they gave me, it was like, you can pay this back in 5 years with this set amount. So I think it was like 140 something every month, and I was paying it off. And then like, that was 2.5 years ago. So I'm like ahead of schedule by like 2 years and some change, a couple months, which is good. To be 2 years ahead of schedule paying something off is good. So all this overtime, I'm really just using it to pay off debt. and it's like it's really interesting, man. I actually need to call this other place that I used to do some therapeutic services at. I need to call them because there's like some weird amount accrued over time, and it was like they don't add interest, which is good, but I like paying extra, like a little extra. They're like, you can do like 100 a month. You just got to keep calling in. And I'm like, you know what? I can do that, but I'm gonna do it differently. Like I'm gonna do it like let's say for example, it's like there was 1,500, right? You need to pay 1,500. I would pay like 160, so that way that's like more than 10%. You know what I mean? Like 10% is good, but I was like, let me just take care of more than 10%. And then now it's like 1,400 in the 1300s. So the fact that it's in the 14 or 1300s, I'll pay like 150 or 140. And that's just my logic. Like I want to pay a little over. So then when it gets closer to the actual, like, you know, when there's not much left, it's like double digits left or like 100 left, I'll just pay that off at the remainder. That's just how I look at it. I mean, it's an interesting time. It's like using my checks wisely. It's just being efficient with money, budgeting, you know, correctly, and yeah, man, just basically like adulting, but it's like overtime money. You know, spending it wisely. Actually, I need to make a you know, before I get back to like aggressive investing, it's like I want to pay everything off. You know, the credit card limit got, you know, a couple like about 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, credit card limit, it went up by like 1,000 or some shit. So obviously I spent that extra 1,000 like during my trip to Austin, but also like for some Beyblade investing, and then some other things to just pay off things, you know, just to have money on hand so I can enjoy myself a bit. But then now that's kind of accrued a bit, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just pay this. That's the biggest thing to pay off, but everything else is what it is. So I think when it's all said and done, I'm gonna get a new pair of shoes. You know, so for the next couple months, let's say the next 2 checks, we're gonna be pretty much evened out more or less. And then after all the evening out, you know, you pay off the credit card first, and the other big debt. Credit card is probably a little bit bigger than the actual therapeutic debt, so we'll do things one at a time. But when I start knocking all that out, it's over. I'm gonna get me a pair. Actually, I don't know yet, but I'm gonna do all this. I'm gonna just grind it out for the next couple of weeks. Stay focused. I kind of. That's probably why I got a headache today. I'm just overthinking everything. I'm just like, it's payday, or pre-payday, but I'm taking care of things and budgeting correctly, making sure everything's right. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, when it's all said and done, I'm gonna just cash out on a pair of shoes. You know, and splurging on nothing else after that. Just yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be an interesting set of things, you know, things going on. I need to figure out like a because you know AI, there's like a little AI thing. I'm about to I don't know, man. So on my Beyblade videos, I started putting the black whale wave with the crown, and I was like, that's my guy. So I don't know, man. I should need to reconstruct a new deck. I need to create like a black whale wave with Drawn Buster, and I don't know who my third is gonna be, but just straight knockout artists. Just straight knockouts. I might have to use a shark, but that, you know, that's for my Beyblade people. People who know that. But we nearing the close, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know, I'm clocking out soon, so it's whatever. I'm looking at the clock, just watching it. I'm just biding my time at this point. All this hard work for a new pair of shoes. That's all I'm gonna do. So that's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna either get some Jordan 6s, because I already have a pair. I'm going based off of stuff I know. So based on things I know, it's like Jordan 6s, another pair of Griffeys maybe, Kyrie 5s, T-Max, preferably T-Mac 1, 2 or 3 I'm okay with, to be honest. Maybe T-Mac 2, possibly because I had one as a kid, I believe. Either 2 or 3. I had the white and the blue. And then there was a 5th one that was in there. It might have been the Hardens. So a pair of James Hardens, maybe. But I got to look into that because, You know, the Harden shoe is like my most favorite comfortable shoe, but it also has some weight to it. It has a lot of good heel toe balance and weight. But I'm leaning more towards like the T Max 6s and like a new pair of Griffeys. Just those three. That'll be my big three, if we're being honest. But the Kyrie is like the most comfortable shoe. Kyrie 5 is the most comfortable shoe. Which is crazy. For no reason. It's just the most comfortable. Anyway, that's what I'm leaning towards. We'll see in the future. Might shoot a whole vlog about it. The purpose of this shoe, like why it's so important to me. Just recording everything, just documenting everything, man. It's all spiritual shit. It's all positive shit, man. That's really all it is to me, man. If you know me, you know. Hey, man. I love and appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for tapping in. We out here, man. TTM 103. Man, 103, that's crazy. I remember that album came out. Hey, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Peace.